Hi guys, so this is preschool lesson plan for weeks 9 and 10. I'm going to be showing you what we're doing on floor today. On this station right here, we're going to be helping them on forward rolls from a stand to a stand. Make sure their arms start up by their ears, and then as they stand up, they should be using no hands as they come back up to the top. Next, they're going to go over to the tumble track. We're going to continue to work our straddle jumps this week. Hands go on their hips, trying to get their feet all the way back together to the white line as they're going over the obstacles. When they get to the end, they freeze and they can turn around and go back the same way. If they have partners, make sure they're going one at a time. On this next station here, we're going to be spotting. They're going to be doing bridges and then kick over. So have them lay down flat on their back with their arms by their ears. And then you're going to grab their hips as they go over. They can either do a kick over from a full bridge if they're a buds, and then for sprouts, we're going to have them bring both legs over at the same time. Try to make sure they're pushing up through their shoulders and landing on their feet. Next, they're going to go down and they're going to be working their candlestick position. So here, lay their backs down flat. They're going to put their arms down flat by their sides, walk their toes up the cheese mat to the top, get their bottom off the floor, and then try and kick up so their feet go to the ceiling, just like that. Next, they're going to move over to their bridge station. We are continuing to work our bridges this week. Bottom goes down, arms come up by their ears, hands come over, and then they pull their hips over. Next, they're going to be doing backward rolls independently this week. So arms start up by their ears. Make sure they're using the correct hand position. They're pushing against the mat to go over. And find their toes. If they are having trouble doing a backward roll by themselves, or they're just not wanting to do it, what you can have them do instead is just bring their toes all the way over, touch the star, and then come right back up, just like that. And that's it for floor this week, guys. We're going to continue our progression with our bridges and our backward rolls. All right, so for beam this week, over here, you can't see me, but they're going to be using butterfly hands to put them down on the crown beam, and then they're lifting their feet up to the rainbow, lifting one leg up in the air, and they're going to try hops this week if they can do that. Next, they're going to go over to the next beam, and they're working handstand hops. So hands go down, they can do levers, or they can do handstand hops, just like I'm showing you right there. Next, we're continuing to work on our handstands on the beam. Last week we had a laser beam. This week we're going a 4-inch beam, so they should be using butterfly hands. I would like to see their hands on the beam this week instead of on the floor. And if they can lift one leg off of that cheese mat. Next, they're going to go over to the full-length beam. And hands can either go on their hips or they can go out to the side. And they're doing dips or ice cream scoops. Same thing. Dipping down to touch the noise pad, coming back up, just like that. Next, they're going to go over to our 2 laser beams. Very similar to last week, just a little bit more advanced. They're just continuing to progress with their crab walks. They're going to go both hands and feet this time, dropping the frisbee off from one end to the next. And then for our final beam, they're going to be doing push-up walks. So for a challenge, have them put their hands on the floor and then their feet on the beam. And if that's too difficult for them or they can't quite get it, they can put their hands on top of the beam, their feet on the floor, and move sideways that way. Again, we're continuing to work on our handstands these 2 weeks, and then probably the next 2 weeks as well. Here we have bars for this week. We're continuing to work on our pullovers. So you'll see a couple different progressions. Right here, make sure they go in very carefully. There's little yellow strips of tape for their hands to go. They're going to place a beanie bag in between their 2 feet, and they're going to bring their feet over and drop it in the bucket. And this is very similar to a drill we did on floor the last 2 weeks. So they should understand and be able to do this. Next is our spotted station of the week, and we're going to be spotting pullovers. I like to support their back with one arm, their legs with another, and then make sure their feet stay pulling down to the ground as you help their shoulders get up. The last bit of that skill is making sure their wrists shift on top of the bar and push up to front support. Next station on the yellow mat, they're just swinging from island to island, trying not to touch the mat down below. They're going to continue their pullover progression right here. So they're walking their feet up to the star, and there's no balloon there right now, but there will be a balloon for them to try and kick. And then next is our conditioning station. They're going to grab the bungee, one in each hand. They're going to go down to the ground, and they're just going to do modified chin-ups with those resistance bands. They can even lay down on their back if they want to make it more challenging. And then lastly, we're going to continue doing rope and the rock wall. Just please make sure that you provide them safety instructions to stay over the pit. That's it for today, guys. Thanks.